All right, good journey. How is everyone this evening? I know it's kind of off the time frame as far as me being here. Actually, give me 1 minute. I'm actually going to grab something real quick. All right, I'm back. Cool. Awesome. So, wow. Okay, then. I'm not going to stay on that long tonight because I got to go to London tomorrow. So, so this is going to be pretty awesome. Leaving for London for Star Wars Celebration tomorrow. By the way, I am the Crucial Crew member, and this is the Space Oats podcast live every Tuesday night, usually at 10 p.m. I'm a little bit later tonight because I'm trying to get ready to go to Star Wars Celebration. But yeah, I really didn't have a lot of time to get ready for this tonight. So basically, yeah, just going through some Star Wars Celebration stuff. So I actually want to pull up some cool things that I saw just recently today. As far as some of the merch going to be at Star Wars Celebration, because I want to show that again. See if anybody sees anything cool. Basically, I'm going to run through and see what I'm looking for as well. And we can talk about that. If you see something that you're liking, let me know. And maybe, who knows, maybe I'll get it and then resell it later. Trying to make sure I have a bunch of stuff so that I can... bunch of room so I can bring back. So let's see here. I'm going to go ahead and share this. All right, let's see here. Everybody see this okay? This is some of the Star Wars Celebration store exclusives. So we're just going to run through this real quick. This is on Star Wars .com. Some of the things that were like posted. You got the Union Jack Star Wars Celebration coffee mug. Probably not going to be something that I'm interested in. The Ahsoka shirt. I actually have the Ahsoka shirt from last year from Star Wars Celebration, and it looks pretty much the same. It's just black. So I'm actually going to be wearing that on Saturday. You'll see some photos of me with that. We have the Mandalorian Armorer's Crest t-shirt. Not a big fan of this one either, so I probably won't get that. The Blue Harvest hat, I'm definitely going to be looking for. Don't really know how this one's going to look more so, but this one's the Death Star pattern button-down shirt. I'm kind of curious to see how that actually really works or looks. So that's one I'm going to be looking at. There's a Emperor Palpatine floaty pen. I'm not big on pens, so probably not for me. Ewok Village Terranium. Too difficult to travel with, so I probably won't be getting that either. The Ewok nesting dolls, that's kind of curiosity peeking with me. That would be something that I might pick up. Grogu Squid and Chips. Cool play on fish and chips, so that might end up being something that I get. The Narkina 5 Prison long sleeve t-shirt. I'm not big on getting a lot of long sleeve stuff, so here in Florida, so I probably won't get that. The Rancor bottle opener, pretty cool, but looks like you kind of have to put that somewhere, and yeah, so that's probably not going to be mine either. Return of the Jedi 40th, again, a quarter sleeve shirt, not big on that. Return of the Jedi Final Battle patch, I'm not big on patches. The denim jacket, that might end up being mine, just because I love a good jacket, and it's a cool Return of the Jedi jacket. The souvenir jacket, the 40th souvenir jacket, either one of those could be mine. We'll see what's left. We'll see what's left. It looks like this one has like a good, cool inside, so that would be interesting. Revenge of the Jedi, the saga continues. I actually have a Revenge of the Jedi or Revenge of the Sith shirt, but this will be cool because it's a Revenge of the Jedi shirt, because it's, you know, the original title of Return of the Jedi, so that would be pretty neat, kind of like a throwback t-shirt. A football jersey, yeah, probably not going to be interested. Skateboard, nope, not for me. The candle or the candle in the glass holder, Yeah, too difficult to travel with. Same thing with this T set. Pretty cool, but too difficult to travel with. So yeah, so those are some items that basically we are going to be seeing at Star Wars Celebration. I may have shown some of that last week, but just kind of a rehash of some of that and maybe what I'm interested in as far as that goes. So those are some of those items that are there, those store exclusives. So Star Wars Celebration basically kicking off on Friday. I knew nothing about these cool like preview, like fun activities. Apparently, Cantina, I think it's Cantina Cast, is the name of the podcast. But they do like the Boonta Eve, and unfortunately, I didn't really know much about them, so I didn't get tickets to that. I wish I would have, because that would be a cool event on Thursday. But unfortunately, I won't be able to get to that because I knew nothing about it. So, but yeah, it's the virtual cantina, and they're the largest Celebration fan group, and they're doing that Boonta Eve come Thursday night. So I wish I could go to that, but I don't have tickets. So I don't know if there's anything going to be available last minute. I don't know. I might look into that, but we'll see. Yeah, so, but Thursday, or let's see here, what do we got going on as far as Star Wars Celebration? On Friday, my goal is to get to the Lucasfilm Studio Showcase on the Celebration stage, either that or at the Galaxy stage. I'll probably just end up going for the Galaxy stage because I don't want to miss out on some of the updates that are going to be there. I think I might end up going to the making of Andor. Don't know yet, because I'm thinking maybe they're going to talk about Season 2 a little bit. So I don't know. We'll see. That'll be a up in the air thing for me. If not, I'm going to be trying to head to the Dad Batch podcast over at the Holonet news stage, because I really want to meet those guys after their interviews with Mike Forrester of Armor Party. I listened to all of those, and they were really good interviews, and I wouldn't mind meeting those guys in person. That would be pretty cool if I could run into them. Saturday, definitely Ahsoka is going to be a go-to in the morning, Celebration stage, and also streaming to the Galaxy stage and Twin Sun stage. So I might just, again, head over to the Galaxy stage and try to get in there. The 40 Years of Return of the Jedi is in the afternoon from 2 to 3. So that's probably going to be something I go to as well. And then Who's the Bosk, Holonet news stage, definitely going to that, because I have already made arrangements to meet up with Mike Celestino, because I want to meet him in person for the first time. Sunday, I really don't know much about what I'm going to do. I know I'm going to the Disney parks where Star Wars comes to life. That's on the Celebration stage from 4 to 5. But in the morning, I don't know. I'm just going to kind of play it by ear. Maybe go to there's a collector's trading event. Seems pretty cool. I've never been to one of those. Sky Talkers is doing their podcast. Who knows? I might hit them up. And then on Monday, really the only thing I got going for me is Star Wars Visions Volume 2, which super excited to go see, and then the closing ceremonies. But I also have to fit in my lightning lane for the store, so we'll see how that plays out, because that's when mine is. I might do the Young Jedi panel too, and see the preview of that. That might be pretty neat, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. But basically, that is what I got going on, and then we're sticking around in London for a little bit after to have some fun times around the city. So, but let's talk about Bad Batch. Bad Batch Season 2 finales happened. Yeah, so we had the summit and then Plan 99. And I have to say, this conclusion of the Bad Batch Season 2 was definitely a shocker. It was a great way to end the season. I thought it was outstanding. I really I was just blown away. I think it brought the whole season together very well. I'm super excited the way they set up another season. Obviously, we're going to have another season. And yeah, I mean, we can talk about it because, it's been a week. If you haven't watched it yet, man, it was crazy. So we got a couple different spoilers here. The summit, basically, them finally getting to Talos, or not to Talos, but Iriadu, and basically we had Saul Guerrero show up. We kind of see why the other rebels don't really like him as being an extremist, because he doesn't really care about other people's lives. Who else that they could possibly save. He's just worried about basically putting a wrench in the Empire. So for a split second, I was like, who's that other person with him? But obviously it could not have been who I was thinking for like one split second, because I factored in time frame and Jin would have been way too young. So there was just like that little like flash bit a second where I was like, wait a minute. And then I was like, no, it can't be, because she would be too young at that time. But basically, one of the cool things that came out of the summit was in the end when you have Tarkin and basically that group of Empire heads of their departments, we could see, and it was wondered, is this Krennic there? And it was confirmed that it was Krennic there, because Tarkin basically says at the very end, Director Krennic, why don't you tell us about this Stardust program initiative that you have going on, which is pretty amazing, because it's that first talks about the Death Star, kind of ties us into Rogue One a little bit, which is really cool because, Saul's there as well. So it was a really cool way to tie in Rogue One with the Bad Batch. Then the escape from the summit, obviously that kind of goes awry. We go into Plan 99 with them kind of stuck in that like almost like tram overhead. And then the unthinkable happens. I did not predict this, but we lose Tech. And that ends up being Plan 99. Basically, when it comes to saving everyone else or, sacrificing yourself, that's what you're going to do. And it was a tough moment. And, you just felt the emotions. The scene when basically the tram runs into the terminal there, or whatever you want to call it, and then when Omega wakes up and you see everything from her point of view, I thought that was like one of the best moments in the Bad Batch. It reminded me a lot of the episode with Callus and Rebels, when you see his point of view when he's waking up with the alarms going on. Basically, I think the episode was Fulcrum, actually, because it was basically showing the turn of Callus in that episode, because he was the new Fulcrum. And I just really love that point of view. It's just like you could see she was fading out, fading in, because she's like coming to and leaving, and seeing everything from her perspective of them like getting out of there off of Iriadu. They take her to Ord Mantell. This is where this whole blow with Sid comes into play. Sid's only worried about herself. So basically, to keep her situation going, she has turned in the Bad Batch, which we kind of knew was going to happen. I mean, at least I knew that this was going to happen at some point. So, yeah, so Omega wanted to kind of like sacrifice herself to save them, and they're like, no, you need to get out of here. Eventually, Omega does end up getting caught, and yeah, and at the end we see her taking it over to Talos, and we see Crosshair there, and then we get this other spoiler of Dr. Emery Carr basically letting Omega know that she is her sister, which I know some people had kind of like predicted this. I actually wasn't even thinking about this at all, but I kind of felt like she was gonna maybe turn, which we haven't really seen that yet, but I'm thinking maybe she ends up helping Omega and Crosshair out in the long run. That's what I'm thinking, because she's technically a clone, right? So all the clones are going to realize that they're basically being used by the Empire and that they're disposable. So isn't she going to figure that out as well? So I think she's going to turn on Dr. Hemlock. Obviously, we don't hear anything about Dr. Hemlock in any of the, we see Moff Tarkin, we see Krennic in this whole circle with Hemlock, and Hemlock's already kind of having difficulties. So yeah, I think this is gonna all go awry in season 3, and she's gonna turn on Hemlock. So, and possibly help out with the rescue of the other clones and any ones that are actually able to be saved, including Crosshair and Omega. So we have to find out and wait till season 3. So yeah, I don't know if we'll get any announcements on season 3 at Celebration, but man, am I excited about that. I hope so. I really hope so. So, I mean, it was just devastating to see Tech being lost. I mean, I had a feeling somebody was going to be sacrificed, but not to the point of death. So I was super shocked at that. It was amazing. It was a definite point that these animated series are not just kids shows, honestly. And that's what I'm feeling. So I was enjoying most of the episodes of season 2 of Bad Batch about as much as I have been with The Mandalorian. So the Bad Batch is really putting it up there. Story-wise, I think it's just been outstanding. But let's talk about Mandalorian. Mandalorian Chapter 21, The Pirate. We get a little bit of change of pace here. We go back to Navarro with Grief Karga. We know we had some instances earlier with some skirmishes with these pirates and Gorian Shard. And now this is where it's all kind of culminating and coming back. Grief is basically taking his stand against these pirates. He kind of bluffs them a little bit. Basically says that he's under the protection of the New Republic and they'll be there. Gorian Shard calls that bluff and basically goes to take control of the city. What a great shocker. I mean, there was a lot of cool cameos in The Mandalorian. We got Tim Meadows as far as on Coruscant. We see him, but I just can't even, I have to say it now because I think this was probably the best moment in Mandalorian because we are getting the first glimpse of Rebels coming to live action, and that being with Garazeb Aurelius himself, Zeb. Basically chatting with Carson Teva, which is, it was, man, he looked so good. I was just super stoked to see Zeb. I had to pause it for a minute. I couldn't believe it was happening. I don't know if we're going to see him again by the end of Mandalorian, but man, am I hoping that somehow Zeb gets involved with this. It was such a joy. It looked so good, and I don't know what they did It looked like it was partially CG. I don't know how much of it was actual, like costume. I don't, but it looked so good. Zeb looks amazing. And I'm just super excited to have Zeb, one of the Rebels, come to live action already. And that was a shocker. That was a shocker. It was so great to have like these crazy like ups and downs last week, because I watched Bad Batch first and then I watched Mandalorian second. So I actually started on a down note, and then watching Mandalorian just pumped me up. Felt so good, especially at the end. Seeing Zeb was just amazing. The dogfighting scenes, we got more dogfighting scenes with Din Djarin and Bo-Katan. Dogfighting with these pirates was awesome. I mean, again, this is another one of those scenes where I feel that Lucasfilm watched what they were doing with The Mandalorian with these dogfighting scenes, and then looked at what was going on in Rogue Squadron and said, this isn't good enough. Yeah, oops, late. Sorry, Mike. Yeah, I'm packing for London. And I kept like, I tried to like go on. That's why I didn't schedule this. I didn't actually even know if I was going to do this. I know I said it last week. I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to jump on the night. But basically, I just wanted to come on kind of briefly and talk about some of the things I'm excited for Celebration. Right now, I'm talking about Mandalorian, from last week with the pirate episode. And I mean, you tell me, Mike. Let me throw this out there. I don't know if you just heard me or not, but my thoughts are that, again, the Mandalorian, the dogfighting scenes in the Mandalorian. We had the one earlier with Bo-Katan, with the TIE fighters, TIE interceptors, and then now we have Mandalorian and Bo-Katan fighting Gorian Shard's pirates. The dogfighting scenes are so good, that I have a feeling that one of the reasons why they scrapped Rogue Squadron was because they saw what they were doing with The Mandalorian, and they realized that Rogue Squadron was not good enough. And that's probably why they decided not to do that film. That's my thoughts. Because they did such a good job, and I want to see more of this. And I think that Lucasfilm is seeing that. They're seeing how well that those dogfights are going. Exactly. They're awesome. And honestly, I don't think Rogue Squadron was going to be like that. And I think that they knew that, and they could see what they maybe saw what Favreau, Filoni, and everybody was doing with what's in the Mandalorian, and they got nervous that Rogue Squadron was not going to live up to that. And I have a feeling that that's one of the reasons why they scrapped it. Are we going to see something maybe later? Possibly. I hope so, because I would love to see X-Wings doing this kind of stuff in that same style. I think that's what they need to do, and I don't think that's what Rogue Squadron was going to be like, honestly. And I really think that what we're seeing in The Mandalorian caused Rogue Squadron to get scrapped. We had a lot going on at the end of The Mandalorian. Really blew my mind. Was Rogue Squadron based in Mike Stack? I think it was an original story, honestly. Yeah, I don't think they were going to base it on anything. I mean, I think they were kind of going to, I'm sure, I mean, we've seen everything kind of pull from some of the Legends books and comics, and who knows? Patty Jenkins, I don't know if she would have done that. Like, I mean, Filoni and yeah, he did a series in the 90s that was really good. I read some of those. And Filoni and Favreau have done a great job in pulling little things from those Legends books and all that. And they're doing a great job with that. I don't know if Patty Jenkins was going to be doing that with Rogue Squadron, honestly. I really think it was going to be totally off the wall, totally different. I think it was the right decision, honestly. After seeing what's going on in The Mandalorian, I really do think that they saw that it was not going to live up to what we wanted as fans. Do I want to see a Rogue Squadron movie? Yes, but I want it done right. And I don't think it was going to be done right. So I believe that it was scrapped for good reason, and yeah, who knows? Maybe we'll get a rewrite of it, a redo of it in some way or another. Yeah, it possibly. Yeah, they. Yep. I don't know. I don't know where it was supposed to fit in the timeline or anything. We really didn't. I don't think we really got any information on it at all. But yeah, we'll have to see. We'll have to see if they keep that idea going sometime in the future. I would love to see X-Wings dogfighting. Honestly, I think it would be great. What about the ending of Mandalorian? Bo-Katan. I honestly thought something was going to happen. I didn't know what was going on with the Armorer and Bo-Katan going down to the old covert on Navarro. And when she told Bo-Katan to remove her helmet, I did not know what the heck was going on. Honestly, I almost thought that we were going to see who the Armorer was. Yeah, I mean, I thought there was going to be some connection between Bo-Katan and the Armorer, maybe. And I was like, okay, well, who's the Armorer? Why is she doing this? And then when the whole explanation of you've walked both ways and you can reunite Mandalore. Yeah, so I mean, at first I was thinking yep, yeah, you did guess it, Mike. You're the one that said it, and I was kind of doubting that, but now I'm thinking that she's gonna be the one. I don't want. I don't. How much is the Darksaber going to come into play here, though? Because she was so bent on, I can't take the Darksaber unless I defeat you in combat. Is this all gonna change her thinking on that? Is she gonna accept it without taking it by combat? There's something inside me that thinks that they're not gonna fight. So yeah, I think maybe. Yeah, I don't think the Darksaber is gonna matter, honestly, in this. But I do think Bo-Katan is going to have a hand in reuniting all of Mandalore. I really do. Especially with her kind of walking both ways. I see this now in that way. And then what about that other ending as far as the show with Carson Teva coming upon this shuttle, this prison shuttle, basically confirming his thoughts that Moff Gideon has escaped. We've kind of basically realized that, but then he also discovers in the wreckage Beskar shards. So what is the thoughts on why there was Beskar in the Republic ship? I don't know. Is it another faction of Mandalorians? Is it like a reboot of Death Watch? Who do you think was there dead? I didn't really notice that. But I'm thinking maybe Death Watch. Possibly. Okay, really? I did not notice that. Ooh, was that a way that they basically killed her off? I didn't notice that at all. But yeah, is it going to be is it going to be Death Watch? Is it going to be a new version of the Dark Trooper that basically is using Beskar armor? So the bit it looks like her arm, hand. Interesting. That's one I didn't catch anywhere this week. But I guess that's a way to kind of finalize that and put that nail in the coffin, isn't it? No hope for her returning, right? Yeah, so can't wait to see maybe what happens with that if we learn a little bit more of that. Heard rumors, Thrawn. Yeah, but who has the bet? Why is there Beskar there? That's my question. I know it's definitely going to be Thrawn, and my guess is, so since we've seen Zeb in this week's episode, my guess is that we might get a couple more introductions of Rebels characters before the end of the season. Maybe one, maybe two. I'm thinking Sabine might show up at some point as a cameo before the end of the season, and also Thrawn. Setting up the Mandalorians, that's a possibility. That's a possibility. Maybe trying to turn the Republic on the Mandalorians. I don't think Carson Teva would buy that, though. I don't think he'd buy that. I don't know. I think he has a lot of trust in Din Djarin, so I don't think that's going to be the case. He knows something's going on. I think he knows that there's something bigger going on. So, oh my goodness. You know what? I'm going to actually go back to what I had up before with Star Wars Celebration for a moment, because I just came across, I didn't even notice this one either. There was another couple other things that have been released as far as what might be at Celebration. I haven't looked at this at all yet. Some more stuff that I might possibly be interested in. See if I can't pull it up. But yeah, I don't know if, I mean, I don't think if they are trying to set up the Mandalorians, I don't think Carson Teva is going to buy that. Now, if the wreckage is investigated by other New Republic, maybe they might buy it, but I think Carson Teva is going to, I think he's going to side with the Mandalorians on this one. So, but yeah, I guess we'll find out a little bit more about that this week. Wonder if Harrison Ford will show up to promote Indy. Well, so he did last year in Anaheim. I don't know. I guess that's all depends on if he wants to go across the pond or not. I think it's like a 50-50 with him. You never know. Honestly, my thoughts is that he could probably show up. If he's going to show up, he's going to be there for multiple panels. That's my opinion. I think he'll be there. If he comes to promote Indy 5, that would be on Friday at the Lucasfilm panel. And then I think he will stay for the Return of the Jedi panel on Saturday. I think that's the case. So I'm going to throw up some more stuff that I just came across in case anybody hasn't seen it. Money Talks, it would need the promotion just 2 months away. Yeah, true. So here's some more stuff from Celebration. Let's see, is it popping up? There we go. Yeah, so some more releases that are shown on StarWars.com. Watches. I got too many watches already, and actually I really don't care for any of those too much. Let's see here. We got Dark Horse Comics Annual, the Hyperspace Stories, Jackson. There's an old throwback to some Legends. That's pretty cool. Have not worn a watch in years. I have a digital Fossil watch that I really like, honestly. Yeah, Jackson's great. Yeah. Genuo Novo first to market Mandalorian helmet, battle damaged, muddy versions. That's pretty cool. One of these days, I'm gonna get some armor together. Trapper Wolf, look at that. Diamond Select. I'm not big on the busts, but that's pretty cool. Dave Filoni's got a mini bust. Disney Lucasfilm Publishing High Republic box set. That's cool. I really gotta read more of the High Republic stuff. I'm behind on that. Star Wars Timelines. Look at that. That might be something I get From the time before the High Republic to the fall of the First Order. Ooh. See, that's that kind of stuff I really like. I could see myself getting that. Star Wars 100 objects, illuminating items from a galaxy far. It looks like a collector's book of some sort. Pretty interesting to page through. Exquisite gaming, a Darth Vader icon. Don't know what's that. Fig pins. Oh yeah, that's right. We got some some pins. Let's see. It looks like we got some cool, like hologram. Like they're almost like holograms. Clear ones of Ahsoka and Cad Bane. Got Boba Fett, Darth Vader, Leia in Return of the... obviously in Endor gear. Got Din Djarin and Wicket, and then Zuckuss. Zuckuss is pretty cool. Funko. So we knew Funko was going to have this Jar Jar Binks. I did not get into the Funko Lightspeed. But honestly, I'm not a big Funko person anyway, but I think that some of the Funko exclusives are kind of lacking this year. Except for the droids. I like the droids. The R2 and the R5 look pretty cool. And especially as a 2-pack, that's pretty awesome. Hasbro Black Series. I'm supposed to try to get one of those for a crew member. Supposed to try to get one of those for a crew member. Heroes and Villains BioWorld, the Mandalorian tee. I like that. That's really cool. I guess that's 2 separate tees. I like the Heroes and Villains one. That's really awesome. And then some other Heroes and Villains. Ahsoka collection. Jacket looks pretty cool. Various Star Wars Return of the Jedi 40th Anniversary Lego Star Wars brickheads. I'm not big into Legos. Looks like, yeah, so Return of the Jedi stuff. So Lando, Luke, R2, Leia, Wicket. Uh-oh. That's something that my wife sees. She'd probably get that. Armor, mini cosplay, backpack, and wallet. If it comes together in a set, I can see her wanting that. She's a big Loungefly person. Other various stuff. That's one with like Jabba the Hutt. That's pretty cool. Does Loungefly do jackets, like sweatshirts? I didn't know that. I have a Death Star one. Star Wars The Clone Wars 20th Anniversary watch strap. I don't have an iWatch, so. And a Han Solo and Carbonate watch strap. Star Wars Cataclysm. Another High Republic offering. Rhino Shield. Phone grips. I don't need phone grips. Plus, I don't have an iPhone. Return of the Jedi 40th Anniversary lunchbox and socks. If it's metal, I might be interested. If it's metal. If it's plastic, no. Socks. I like socks. I don't really like those socks. What else we got? Tops. Celebration Edition trading card box sets. Yeah, I'm not big with a thermos. That's another key. They usually don't have thermoses now, but it has a thermos. That is right. Yeah. So that's an old. I had a neighbor that had that lunchbox. It may not have looked exactly the same, but I remember the thermos and I remember the lunchbox when I was in kindergarten, actually, because that's about when the time that all that merch was coming out. and my neighbor had that. So I guess that's like a remake. And you know what? His was plastic, so if it is a redo, it's probably going to be the same. Celebration, trading cards, Empire Strikes Back, Falcon Cockpit one. Ooh. I don't think I've ever seen that one, Mike. If you still have a picture of it, send it to me. Or if you can find one. I'd like to see that one. I don't know if I've ever seen that one. 4 different box sets being offered throughout Star Wars Celebration, one available each day, or fans can buy a bundle of all 4 sets. I'm not big on trading cards anymore, so. But yeah, so that's it for that. More merch that just was released. I think that that dropped. I was a little behind on some of my news, so that just was released within the past couple of days. And then, of course, it's Mando Tuesday because Mandalorian's coming out tomorrow, so we got more Mandalorian merch. I don't know why I just closed that window. Because there's more Mandalorian merch that just dropped today. It's so amazing how much like stuff there is all the time when you're a Star Wars fan. If I had unlimited resources and plenty of space to put it, I would be getting all of this stuff. I mean, not all of it, but I would be getting a lot of it. But let's see here. Mando. Yeah, so Bad Batch is done. All we have is Mandalorian now. I guess I'm going to watch it tomorrow morning. My flight's not till later in the afternoon, early evening. Cool, thank you. Let me see. Let's see. Let's look at this. Oh, wow. Oh, I like the artwork on that. That almost looks like the Celebration badges a little bit. Yeah, so here we go. Let's look at this new Mando merch that came out today. I worked today and came right home, had to run back out. And I got home and then I had to finish packing. And then that's why I jumped on here. So I haven't really had a chance to look at any of this stuff today. Let's see here. Mando Mania. What do we got? We got another Book of Boba Fett vintage collection. This time it is Luke Skywalker. Jedi Academy. Yeah. Okay. I don't know. I'm not too happy with that figure. Razor Crest Geekle Tikis. Geeky Tiki's Punch Bowl. Oh, that poor Razor Crest. 55-ounce Mega Punch Bowl, including a bonus muglet sculpted to look like the Mandalorian holding Grogu. I'm not big into the whole tiki stuff, but I know somebody who would be. Is the shirt, though, too? Like, yeah, 25% off their Mandalorian apparel. I guess the apparel's not new. They're just offering Mandalorian helmet, sculpted ceramic caddy. So, silverware holder. Not something I don't think I'd put in my kitchen anyway. The Mandalorian in Good Hands by Thomas Kincaid. What's green? Oh, the shirt? I like it, though. I like the shirt. Shirt's cool. Yeah, so the end of season 2. Going back to the end of season 2 there. I'm not big on the Thomas Kincaid stuff, but that looks pretty cool. Like, I need more artwork, like a hole in the head, though. Let's see here. Mandalorian crochet. Interesting. You know, it's really cool, and that's actually one of my favorite things that I have, and it's not anywhere close by. Otherwise, I would show you. But some passengers made the little. Kincaid is a great artist. It's just not my cup of tea. Not my cup of tea. I mean, I agree with it. I understand why people like him, but it's not my thing. Not my thing. One of my favorite things is when we had a couple people that were passengers on the Star Cruiser that made little crochet porgs, and I have a little red angry porg. I like to call him because he does look angry. I don't know where he is, honestly. I thought he was close by. I would totally grab him and show you, but I don't see him anywhere. But that's pretty neat. I guess it's like a little kit. You can crochet little characters. Maybe it teaches you how to crochet Ahsoka. Looks like Moff Gideon, Bo-Katan, Jawa, Din, Grogu, and then the Mudhorn. Who's that on the side? I don't know who that is on the side, though. All right. Not the best release this week with Mando stuff. But we got some interesting things. I guess they try to get some stuff out there for everybody, right? But I know I heard some speculation of possibly Gorian Shard being somebody that plays a part in the Skeleton Crew. And then also at the end, when basically Gorian is about to be annihilated, he had his one member of his crew kind of take off and abandon. And some people are speculating that this is going to be a way that they're going to bring in Hondo Anaka. Maybe that's where he goes to join Hondo's crew. I do think that Thrawn might be the big bad reveal at the end of the episode, because we've kind of saw a couple of linking up to that. First with Bo-Katan and her castle being destroyed, and that big armament of ties, and basically trying to figure out who this Imperial warlord is. And I think Thrawn is basically pulling the strings with all of this. So I think Thrawn is going to be revealed as the big bad, probably in the last episode, even if it's like a end of credit scene. I think that's gonna happen. But did you see the DC Blue Beetle trailer? No, I didn't. I'm not a big DC fan, honestly. I don't even think... Do I even know who Blue Beetle is? Sounds familiar, but again, not a big DC fan. But I'll have to check that out. I don't know. DC... I mean, I really hope that this new direction that they're going. Yeah, this is like, what? How many times have they tried to reboot DC? I don't know. I like, there's a lot of DC characters that I really like. I just don't, I wish they could come together and do stuff as good as Secret Wars does look good. No, wait a minute, Secret Wars. You mean Secret Invasion? Because Secret Wars is going to be the next Avengers. Secret Invasion is the one with Nick Fury, isn't it? Yeah, Secret Invasion is the Nick Fury one. Yeah, I'm loving that one. I'm thinking that one looks really good. I'm a big Marvel fan, though, too. So pretty much anything you throw my way Marvel, I'm probably going to like. I think I had somebody that I knew that... got to see a preview of it. She couldn't tell me anything about it, but by what she said, I'm pretty sure she got to see first run of it before it was finished, like almost like a test audience type deal. Sometimes we get to do that as Disney cast members. I got to do it for She-Hulk way early on, like 2 years before it came out, very early stages, and give feedback and all that. And I think she got to do the same thing for Secret Invasion. So she's not a big like superhero like TV show person, but I think she enjoyed it actually. So it seemed like it anyway. But yeah, the Skrulls are cool. I like how they've been like kind of throwing them out there here and there. Your fault about She-Hulk. Yeah, I guess so. I honestly, even when I like watched it, I was a little nervous about that one. There are things I liked about it, but yeah, I really didn't care too much for the ending. I know why they did it the way they did it, and I get it, because if you read the comics, you kind of understand. But I don't know. I think they should have went a little bit different direction with it. But Tatiana Maslany is really cool. I really do like her. I thought she did good, and I thought some of the other characters were cool. But yeah, there were some stories and some characters that I just was like, I thought they kind of fell flat. So, but yep. Yeah, so Hawk's son at the end will be scrapped. I don't even know if I remember. I've almost like put that out of my mind. Hawk's son. I don't even remember that, honestly. That was in She-Hulk. I don't even remember that at all. But right at the end, yeah, I don't remember it. Like that last episode, I was so like, really, they went this direction, and I don't know. I don't know. I probably was like very uninterested at the end to even notice anything that happened with that. But all right, Kevin. Yeah, I'm drawing a blank. I almost say I want to watch it again to realize it, but I really don't want to watch it again. But actually, yeah. So one other thing before I kind of wrap this up for tonight, because every time I do this, I like to kind of bring up some things that happened in Star Wars history. Today on April 4th, 1976, we had the Anchorhead scenes, those fabled Anchorhead scenes showing Luke with his buddy Biggs Darklighter on Tatooine. Those scenes were shot, which obviously those scenes eventually were cut from the final film. I was one of those people that was full on believing that I had seen that at some point shown on TV as a release. Yeah, no, I saw them. They were great. I saw them. But yeah, I was one of those believers growing up that, oh no, I swear I've seen these scenes before, all that good stuff, when honestly it was just, remembering what I read in the comics when they had these scenes kind of played out in the comics. We ultimately got to see them with this certain deleted scenes being put in some of the releases on Blu-ray and so forth, which obviously if you actually go on Disney Plus, you can actually watch this scene right on Disney Plus. So making of TV shows, yeah, could have been from that as well. But yeah, now we can go back and watch those deleted scenes because they have released them. So that's pretty cool. I like that scene. I understand why they cut it, because it does kind of take away from the flow of like following the droids all the way to Tatooine. Also in the year 2000, every time I say that, I think of Conan O'Brien. In the year 2000, The Phantom Menace was released on VHS in North America. I actually have my copy of The Phantom Menace on VHS. I can actually see it. If you give me a minute, I can grab it. Would stay deleted. That's funny. Let me grab that real quick. Hold on a little minute. Because I have a really cool Phantom Menace box set that I really like. This was a widescreen video collector's edition of the Phantom Menace. If you can see that. So this was VHS, and it was a box set. Pretty cool. You open it up, and it had a really cool, like, diorama back scene of Naboo, and then it had a really cool art of the Phantom Menace book in here, which was pretty awesome. Some really cool sketches in there. The foreword was actually written by Doug Chiang. So that was really cool. It also came with, I mean, it just looks really cool. So it's like right there in the middle. I'm not good at this. So the widescreen Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. I love this. I almost think it came with a... Yeah, it did. Here it is, right here. Ugh. It fell out. After I knew it fell out. It came with a film cell as well. So, and my film cell is of... I think it's Oda Gunga, I think. Yeah, the Gungan City. So, pretty cool. It's those little things that you keep. Box set came with a razor blade, so you could slit. I felt the same way at first, but then I actually ended up liking the Phantom Menace. First time I saw it, I was like, what? Because I saw it like it was like a midnight showing. But then I went and saw it with my brother, and I went with my nephew, who was probably about 5 or 6 at the time. I'm trying to think, 2000. I can't remember. He was like 5 or 6 at the time, so he would have been like my age when I saw Return of the Jedi. And watching him watch The Phantom Menace reminded me of when I saw Return of the Jedi the first time. And it basically just reminded me that, you know, George Lucas made these movies for kids. And this is a different generation. And I did. Luckily, I had that change of heart. Because, yeah, I enjoy them now. I go back and I enjoy them. Yeah, again, it brings about different generations. So, just like how much certain things about the sequels I don't like, got so many more people that got on board with the sequels as well. Trade franchises, yeah, kids love that stuff. Yeah, I mean, and I think that like that part of it was for the adults. But then you had like, you know, he threw in Jar Jar. You know, he threw in the Gungans basically kind of like he threw in the Ewoks with Return of the Jedi. So I like almost think that like, yeah, those movies, like, they had a lot of parallels with the original trilogy, but just in different stages. You know, it wasn't like a mimic for mimic movie to movie. So, like, Episode 1 wasn't exactly like Episode 4, but it had, like, pieces of Episode 4, 5, and 6 all in Episode 1. And same thing, you know, Episode 2 had a little bit of 4, 5, and 6 in them, and Episode 3 had a little bit of 4, 5, and 6 in them. It was just all kind of different. They were flip-flopped around a little bit. But yeah, I grew to like them. I love them now. So, yep. So, I am actually ready to go to bed because I got to get up tomorrow. I got a few more things to do around the house before we leave. Get ready for the person that's coming to stay here. while we are gone in London. Right? Yeah. Another boy from Tatooine, right? Thoughts on 4K 77? Like the 4K version that's on Disney Plus? Kurt, I didn't even realize it was you. Remastered version of the film. Like the original? Before remastered version of the original. That would be interesting. I've not seen them. I didn't hear about them. Interesting. Yeah, I'm just looking at that right now, actually. Did not know anything about this. Not for purchase. Well, I don't think they would be able to do it for purchase because then Disney would be all over that, I'm sure. But interesting. Predecessor called Silver Screen Edition. Nope, I did not know about any of those. Kurt, thanks for joining. Sorry, kind of you came in late. I really didn't tell anybody I was doing this tonight, because it was very last minute. But I am actually getting ready to end this, unfortunately, because I gotta go to bed, get up tomorrow, do some last minute stuff before I head to London. It was great seeing you, Kurt. Thanks again for joining in. Yeah, so next thing you hear from me is some awesome stuff that's going to be coming out of Celebration. So wish everybody could be there, and hope you guys. I am going to try to stream from London. I'm going to try. So I'll try to do one next Tuesday night. It'll be kind of like a wrap up, but you'll see posts definitely from me throughout Star Wars Celebration. Maybe some quick live posts while I'm there. And but yeah, and most of that's going to be on my Instagram. So follow my Instagram, The Crucial Crew Member, and then I'll try to do a live stream next Tuesday night, kind of wrapping everything up, everything that I liked. Yes, definitely. May the stars light your way as well. And with that, have a great night. See you all later.